What's up, everyone? Justin here, back with a new video. It's not a countdown, but I guess it could be considered a countdown. It's not a countdown video. It's not like a top 10 or 20 and none of that. But it is a new episode of The List, where I'm going to just list a whole bunch of wrestlers and talk about some of them more than others. Some I'll just mention a few, and some I'll talk about more and longer. This is a new episode of The List. The title is Wrestlers We Barely Knew. Wrestlers we barely knew. Trying to get this right, this camera. Yeah, wrestlers we barely knew. So, I've had this show planned for a while. Trying to understand why the mini air conditioner shut off. Because it's fucking hot in here if I didn't have it. It's a heat wave today. Anyways, you guys don't care about the weather. I'm not here to report the weather. You're not in Wisconsin anyway. By the way, training camp has started. Go Pack Go. So, here we go. Wrestlers we barely knew. God, I don't want to be pausing the video for this stupid air conditioner shutting off, probably because it's not on flat ground. It's like kind of crooked. I'll be back. I'm going to fix it. So I fixed it. The mini air conditioner is now flat on a shelf. So wrestlers we barely knew in wrestling from my time of watching wrestling. I got a lot of papers with names on them. I've been watching wrestling, let's see here, God, almost 40 years. Almost close to 40 years. Almost, because tomorrow's my birthday, actually, so I turn another year older. I started watching in 1987. That's almost coming up on 40 years. And it's about 38 years. Yeah, no, not 38. Yeah, I guess I've been a fan 38 years. That's a lot of years. There's probably more wrestlers from the 80s. I could have added a lot of them from the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, but these are a few. First one I'm going to start with, she debuted in WCW. She wasn't around long. Barely. She was around in mainstream wrestling in two major companies for only about over a year. She's in WCW in 1999. She debuted and showed up. She was a valet and the real-life girlfriend of Macho Man Randy Savage. Who am I talking about? Gorgeous George. Wrestlers we barely knew. She was not even a wrestler, but she did have one or two matches, I believe. Probably more matches on the indies. I don't know. But I try to do some research about not the original Gorgeous George, of course. There's a recent picture of her. Again, WCW's Gorgeous George. That's a pretty good picture of her. Her other pictures, not so much. But, yeah. I'm not going to put her looks down. I look like shit, in my opinion. But, yeah, she's when was she born? I'm not sure. I don't know how old she is. 48, maybe 50. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, she doesn't post much on social media. I don't know what happened to her. She does have an Instagram account that I found. And she still says she was a valet for Macho Man Randy Savage. She's in WCW TNA Wrestling. I don't remember her ever in TNA. When? Oh, once? When TNA debuted, I guess. She was, I think, in the TNA Women's Battle Royal on the debut pay-per-view back in 2002. I forgot. I guess she was a part of that. So, yeah, I'm not putting... Here's another good picture of her. She doesn't look bad, but... Yeah. I hope she's doing well. I don't know what she's doing according to her Instagram. It looks like she's trying to sell... Or she was trying to start a company, a pickles company, maybe. She also is going by her former name, George Frankenstein. She claims maybe she had a hot sauce brand or a pickle brand and snake oil. I don't know what the hell snake oil is, but whatever. I guess she's born in 1976, I think. I don't know. So when she debuted in WCW, if she's born in 76, let me go back here and find out when she was born. But the internet could be wrong about years that former wrestlers are born. The internet is not always fucking right about years they were born, because they had Sabu's birth off. It was wrong, totally wrong. Sabu's birth date was wrong, not correct. On Wikipedia, it was wrong. Rob Van Dam said he was not 60, that he was 61. She's 49 years old. Her name is Stephanie Bellers. I don't care what her real name is, but that's her name. Yeah. She debuted in WCW in 99. Some backstory. Randy Savage found her in a strip club, I believe. Started dating her, brought her as his valet. And I will say, she definitely made an impact. I looked at her, I was like, holy shit, who's the hot blonde? Seriously, I was like, who is this hot chick with Randy Savage? That's what I thought, but I was 15 years old at the time when I saw her. I was like, who the hell is this hot blonde? To me, she looked good in 99. And I'm not going to go into her and Randy Savage's relationship. It sounds like he might have been abusive. I don't know. I wasn't there. So a ton of pictures of her with Randy Savage. There's a picture of her. She looks pretty good. But yeah, I hope she's doing well. And yeah, she's in WCW in 99 for a couple months. Then she disappeared. I guess because Randy Savage was off of TV. So they didn't want to use her. But she tried her best. She was trained by Molly Holly and Medusa. So she wasn't that bad in the ring. She had a first ever matchup at a pay-per-view. Slamboree 99. She made her wrestling debut against the referee Charles Robinson, the Little Nature Boy. That's a good storyline, I thought. Where Gorgeous George took on Charles Robinson. To me, that was entertaining. But WCW was not very good in 99 at all. But Gorgeous George was a highlight. Her showing up actually got me excited. I was like, whenever she's on WCW, I'm going to watch it. But then she disappeared, as I said. She was gone. I didn't see her again. After July, August, I didn't see her again on TV. She might have been at the WCW Road Wild 99 pay-per-view. She might have been there with Randy Savage as a valet. He took on Rodman. That was one of the worst matches in 99. That was horrible. But then, yeah, she disappeared. I don't know if she's still under WCW contract. I don't know if she ever had a contract. Maybe Randy Savage got her a contract. I don't know. Then she showed up out of nowhere and debuted in ECW. She debuted in Extreme Championship Wrestling in the year 2000. I want to say in June or July. She showed up out of nowhere before the Heat Wave 2000 pay-per-view. She showed up. I believe she attacked Francine or just showed up. And Francine... she showed up in a match, and then Francine actually did a run-in behind her with a Singapore cane, and Francine cracked her in the back of the head. Cracked Gorgeous George. They couldn't call her Gorgeous George in ECW. They called her George Frankenstein, or I think. But yeah, she only appeared twice, I believe, in ECW on a Hardcore TV and on Heatwave 2000. Then she's gone. She didn't get a contract, and I don't know why. Francine told this story on her podcast, Eyes Up Here, the Queen of Extremes podcast. Subscribe to her channel on YouTube. I like Francine, and I like her podcast, and I like her telling old stories. But yeah, Francine was told by Paul Heyman, crack her as hard as you can in back of the head. Teach her, I don't know why. Because that was wrestling culture back in 2000 to teach somebody coming into your company, to teach them a lesson, I guess. They thought, I don't know why Paul Heyman said that. To Francine, he said, hit her as hard as you can. For what? For what? Come on. That was uncalled for. At the time, I popped. I thought it was awesome. When Francine cracked her, I was like, holy shit. She got drilled. And welcome to ECW, but that was wrong. That was wrong, Paul Heyman. Just because she was a rookie and green, you wanted to teach her a lesson? I don't know why. I don't know who got her into ECW. I don't know who brought her in. Tommy Dreamer, I don't know who. But Paul Heyman, I don't think, liked her and didn't want her there. Because after Heatwave 2000, Gorgeous George Frankenstein was gone. She was gone. She was never seen again. In mainstream wrestling, she was not. After WCW and ECW, and God, I'm talking about Gorgeous George a lot. I'm going to be done soon, but after ECW, WCW, she was gone. She was on indies a little bit. I don't think she wanted to wrestle ever and take a ton of bumps. It was not for her. She probably realized it. I don't want to do this and beat up my body. She wanted to be a valet. And nobody else hired her. She worked for indies. Companies that were little as hell. She appeared in Jasmine St. Clair's and Jasmine St. Clair and Blue Minis Company, 3PW. She appeared in NWA TNA. So that they were mainstream, I guess. NWA TNA. She appeared there in a few appearances, or one or two appearances in TNA. She appeared in Women's Extreme Wrestling. That promotion was a fucking joke. That was an embarrassment, kind of. Except for Mickie James appeared in it. She was good. Yeah. And then, yeah, she appeared in Women Superstars Uncensored in October 2008. She worked as a manager. And then she's gone. I don't know what she's doing now. She's trying to sell pickles and hot sauce. I don't know what she's doing with her life. I wish her well. That's Gorgeous George. Wrestlers we barely knew. And here's a few more. And some of these I'll talk about more, and some I won't talk about much at all. Sean O'Haire. Wrestlers we barely knew. Sean O'Haire. I know they tried to push him in WCW as part of what the hell group was he a part of? God, what was their name? Something Thrillers. Something Thrillers. Anyway, Sean O'Haire, they tried to push him a ton in WCW. Sadly, he ended his own life, I believe. Sadly. He passed away from suicide. He was a mixed martial artist. He was a pro wrestler. He came into WWF after WWF purchased WCW. They tried to push him, I guess. He was one half of the WCW Tag Champs, but they kind of had him get his ass kicked by the Brothers of Destruction. He didn't do much of anything in WWE at all, or WWF at the time. He's in WCW for about a year. What was the name of their group? Jeez, why can't I find it? What was the name of the damn group? He actually went to Ohio Valley Wrestling in 2001. He was still employed. Came back on TV in 2003 for a short time in a trench coat. He did not have a good gimmick. He was mostly on Velocity and tiny bit of SmackDown with Rowdy Piper. He actually went to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I didn't know that. But God, why can't I find that? What was the name of that group? Something Thrillers. Anyways, he's in a faction in WCW that I can't find the name of them. If you guys know the name of that group in WCW, something Thrillers with Sean O'Haire. With, God, who else? I don't know how I forgot the name, but Sean O'Haire's group, they were called Natural Born Thrillers. Of course. Natural Born Thrillers. That was their name. So, yeah, he was in that with Mike Sanders. That's another guy I'll mention. Mike Sanders. Totally forgotten. Totally forgotten. Mike Sanders, definitely a wrestler we barely knew. The guy was not impressive. Looked like he was off the street. Did not go to the gym much. Looked like a totally poor man's Adam Cole, but a worse body than Adam Cole had. And that's not put down to Adam Cole. I wish him well. I hope he gets better. And if he does have to retire, I hope he lives his life 100% without injuries and concussion symptoms. But Mike Sanders, I don't care what he's doing. I was never a fan of the guy. I never think of him. But he is a wrestler that he is definitely a wrestler we barely knew. Mike Sanders. That guy had a career that was like less than a year. And then he was gone off of TV. Never brought in by WWF. Mike Sanders was never brought in. I think he was in Ohio Valley Wrestling, but they didn't want him. He got let go. Professional wrestling career from Mike Sanders lasted from 1998 to 2001. He lasted in WWE, WWF in 2001 to 2002. His contract was acquired by WWF. He was sent to Heartland Wrestling Association, the developmental territory. While he was there, he formed a tag team called the Natural Born Attitudes with Lance Cade. Lance Cade was a damn good worker. Rest in peace, Lance Cade. Mike Sanders actually became the head booker of HWA after suffering a foot injury. He only wrestled, or his only match for WWE was as Jason Sugarman. He defeated somebody in a dark match. Went to TNA, I guess. Mike Sanders was in TNA, actually. I totally forgot about that. Again, he is not memorable as a wrestler or character. Mike Sanders was like himself, I guess. It was not a gimmick. Again, he looked like a regular damn guy off the street that should be driving a truck or driving trailers around, semi-trucks around. So let's go back to Sean O'Haire. Sadly, he got arrested. That was a long time ago, but I guess he was arrested in 1992. He was divorced in 2005. So, God, yeah. I don't even want to mention it, but it's part of a public record. But September 2014, Sean O'Haire's father found him dead, hanging from a bedpost in his bedroom. The homie shared, I guess, with his dad. I don't know. He was only 43 years old. Sean O'Haire, rest in peace. Even though you're a wrestler we barely knew. And that's not a put down. I'm just saying you were a wrestler we barely knew. And not many fans will remember you. But I gave him a shout out, so I guess he is remembered. For this show, he's remembered. And I'm not being disrespectful with this show. I'm just talking about wrestlers we barely knew. I barely knew. That's it. I'm just a fan. I'm not being disrespectful. Trust me. All these guys and women are tougher than I ever could be because they got in the ring at least and tried. Some were way better than others. Next wrestler we barely knew. Midnight. Good God. Anybody remember a wrestler called Midnight? She was in WCW. Midnight. She was a female. She was in a storyline with Booker T in Harlem Heat 2000. Then she started teaming up, I think, with Booker T. Here's a picture of her. Here's Midnight. She was a bodybuilder before WCW brought her in. There's Midnight. That's, I guess, how she currently looks in the middle. So Midnight was trained by the Power Plant. I don't know why she wanted to get into wrestling. She's currently 59 years old. Of course, she's out of wrestling, retired, or she's done. She was a bodybuilder. She looked huge. Seriously, she looked absolutely absolutely massive, a huge woman, jacked. She might have been one of the world's biggest female bodybuilders. I'm not sure. She might have been a bigger bodybuilder than Nicole Bass. If you guys know, if you were watch the Attitude Era, do you remember Nicole Bass? She was in ECW, WWF. And for a long time, Howard Stern fans, Howard Stern's Whack Pack, Nicole Bass was a part of it. And she was radio and TV gold. She was really entertaining on Howard Stern. But yeah, rest in peace, Nicole Bass. You tried to wrestle. Rest in peace, Nicole Bass. I thought you were great. Very entertaining on the Howard Stern show. But as a wrestler, we barely knew you. You were not good at it. But you were good at bodybuilding and being on the Howard Stern show in the Whack Pack. You were good at that. You were entertaining at that. But God, look at this picture of Midnight. Good God, look at her. She's like Jade. She's like two Jade Cardhills. She's like two of Jades. Two Jades put together was Midnight. She had a good look. God, she looked huge. Like she could beat up guys. She had a body like way bigger than China. Look at her legs. My God, she was, of course, a bodybuilder. That's why she was big. I don't know if she did roids. I don't care. I'm not into bodybuilding. I don't give a damn if bodybuilders want to do steroids. Let them do it all they want. So Midnight, let's try to find out some stuff about her. She's a wrestler we barely knew. She's trained at the Power Plant. She appeared at WCW's Mayhem pay-per-view in Starrcade 99 and Sold Out 2000. Then she's gone. They took her off TV. I don't know what happened. Maybe she wanted to quit wrestling, didn't like it, didn't like her body getting beat up. I don't fucking know. Maybe she got injured. I don't remember how good she was. I seriously don't. I know she could do like a scissors axe kick that looked not bad. She's basically like copying Booker T's moves. She didn't have to do much in the ring because how she looked, she didn't have to do much. But she wasn't that bad. From what I remember, she was not that bad. She's not as good as China. She was, definitely not as good as China. China was way better in the ring. She was better in the ring than Asia. WCW. Asia. And Midnight was in intergender matches. She feuded with Stevie Ray, and she was part of the storyline with her siblings. They claim she was the siblings of Booker T and Stevie Ray. I guess she's supposed to be their sister. So I don't know when. Yeah, after Sold Out 2000, she's gone. I didn't see her again on TV. I don't know what she's doing. Claims before bodybuilding, she considered to go into the Air Force. She did go into the Air Force, and I guess she lives in Florida. She's married, lives in Florida, and she's a licensed real estate agent. So Midnight, wherever you are, I hope you're doing well. Good. Hope you're doing good. So the other wrestler, we barely knew. She's in WCW. I think she debuted in 99. She's mostly the Ric Flair when he was like the president of WCW and Arn Anderson was with him. Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, Arn Anderson, and this big giant woman showed up. It was like a parody of China. Seriously, she was like a cosplay China. I don't think she cared to be a wrestler, but they hired her. She was a wife of WCW's Demon character. That was a parody of Gene Simmons in Kiss. God, WCW was so weird. In 99 and 2000, they had a ton of weird ass gimmicks. Gene Simmons gimmick on a wrestler, the Demon. You had, what was that guy's name? The Maestro. God, wrestlers we barely knew. The Maestro, he played the piano, was his gimmick. He was like, I don't know what type of gimmick he was. He was like a piano player, Barry Manilow type. It was weird. Elton John type. It was odd. I think his name is the Maestro. Look him up. I don't know what the hell he's up to. But the Maestro. He was around in 2000, I think. Or 99. Yeah, the Demon. Wrestlers. We barely knew the Demon. Asia. Seriously. Total ripoff of China. Her name. China was in the WWF. A huge star. And WCW decided, let's name this woman Asia. You had China in the WWF and Asia in WCW. Good God. Blatant ripoff. Naming her Asia. But that's pretty damn funny. Whoever came up with that name. Let's call her Asia. Someone must have been watching the Attitude Era and said, hey, they got China. Let's call her Asia. And she was not very good. God, Asia. She was not around long. She was around in late 99 or early 2000. Then by the summer of 2000, I never saw her again. I'm not going to look up all these wrestlers, but there's one. Wrestlers we barely knew. Asia, the Demon, the Maestro. Also, Major Guns. They tried to make her wrestle, I think, a few times. She was not good. Major Guns was not good. Yeah, she looked good, I thought, in 2000. She was an attractive woman, but she had a look. Seriously, her look was like, she looked like a fucking porn star, in my opinion. Nothing wrong with that, but she looked like a stripper or porn star that they brought into wrestling. I don't know where the hell they found her. Major Guns, I don't know where they found her. I do know after WCW, she did go into porn a little bit. Or do solo porn videos, masturbation videos, I think. I remember finding that out. I don't know where Major Guns is. I don't care, but I wish her well. She was in wrestling for a short time, like 2 to 3 years or less. After WCW Major Guns, I don't know why they didn't bring her into WWF. She would have been over. I think she would have got cheered. In the Attitude Era in 2001, she would have got cheered. Deborah got cheered. Like every woman on the show got cheered. The Cat, Terry Reynolds, everybody. So they would have cheered Major Guns in WWF. Maybe they didn't like her attitude or she didn't want to do it anymore. So WWF let her go. I don't know. Now I'm curious to look up Major Guns. What the hell happened to her? After WCW, I know Major Guns appeared in XPW for a short time. And then, yeah, I heard she got into porn, like solo porn videos she did. I think that's all she did in porn. I don't know. Let me try to look her up. What happened to her? I don't really care, but now I'm curious. What happened to Major Guns? Of course, if I ask AI or Google, if I ask them, they'll just tell me Major Guns was in WCW. I already know that. So Major Guns, Lash LaRue on a video, I guess. Lash LaRue, he was pretty good, part of WCW. He's kind of a wrestler that we barely knew, Lash LaRue, because he never appeared in WWF after they were sold. WCW sold. Major Guns is 53 years old only. Thought she'd be older. She's only 53. I guess this is a recent picture of her. She's on Cameo, maybe. Can't see her damn face, but yeah, I guess she's on Cameo. Still, I don't know. She's on Cameo. I don't know if this is a recent picture of her, but there she is. She doesn't look bad. I guess she does video messages on Cameo. Seriously, she doesn't look bad. She looks better than Gorgeous George does now, I think. But I don't know how old this picture is. She looks like a MILF. Good God, she seriously looks like she'd be in a MILF video. Or she'd be playing someone's stepmom in a video, a certain type of video. I don't know what the hell she's up to. God, some pictures, she looks not great. Look at this. Not a great picture. That's just my opinion. This picture, she looks better. God, yes. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole talking about Major Guns. But that's a great name for a wrestling female character in the late 90s. That was a hell of a name for a wrestling gimmick character. Major Guns. You know why? You know why they called her Major Guns. You know why. I'm not going to explain it. What is she up to? Let me find out. God, I haven't thought about some of these people that were in wrestling. I haven't thought about them for years, decades, like over 10 to 20 years. I haven't thought of them. So I thought this video would be interesting, a good idea to make a video wrestlers we barely knew. What is she up to now? Let's see. I don't know if this is updated or how old this is. It claims she currently wrestles for an exotic wrestling promotion, Double Table Wrestling in California. Fans can act as a booker, order custom matches to have her wrestle in bikinis or topless or nude. That's pretty damn funny. I hope she's doing well, whatever she's doing on Cameo or whatever. Hope she's doing well. Yeah, in 2004, 2005, she became Brandy Wild and Buck, whatever her name was, Buck. She's also a cam girl, Buck, the cam girl Buck on a cam girl site. I don't know what the hell she does now, but whatever. So Major Guns, it didn't say really nothing about if WWF offered her a developmental contract. I can't find out anything about that. Oh, she was released. I didn't know this. She was released. Major Guns was released by WCW in February 2001 before it was sold. So they cut her. That's kind of weird. They cut her before Her contract, I guess, could be bought over by WWF, taken over. That's odd. She was, she's also in Team Canada with Lance Storm. She turned heel on the Misfits in Action. So, yeah, WCW tried to push her in 2000, but they cut her, released her. So who else we got here? Wrestlers we barely knew. Kiwi. Remember Kiwi? He had like a Adrian Street look to him. He looked like Adrian Street's son. He wore like glitter and makeup. His manager was what was her name? Booker T's wife, Charmel, was his manager at one point. The manager of Kiwi. What was her name? Not Priscilla. I can't remember her valet name. But what happened to that guy? What happened to Kiwi? I don't know. Kiwi, WCW, not the fruit or the food Kiwi. The wrestler Kiwi. I think he might have appeared in TNA or something after. He did do YouTube interviews talking about Kiwi. Look up that. Kiwi's name was Alan Funk. He's not Terry Funk's son, by the way. He's 54 years old. I wonder what he's up to. He did work for WWF in 2001, but he was never featured on WWF TV. I thought Kiwi was a pretty good gimmick. I thought. Good gimmick. Could have got a lot of heat in WWF. But Vince probably would have buried him and thought he was too small. He would have got buried by WWF guys if he was in the Invasion. He was in TNA for a short time in 2002. He was, I remember this. Jeez, he was a tag team in TNA. Early days at TNA. In 2002, he was in this is according to the internet. He was in a homosexual tag team gimmick. Short-lived with Lenny Lane, known as the Rainbow Express. The Rainbow Express. I like the gimmick. I thought they could have stayed around. But, they were dropped. They were gone. Lenny Lane also. He was pretty good. He looked like Jericho, actually. He looked like he could have been a Jericho clone or parody. At one point, I think he was following Jericho around or something. But Lenny Lane, I thought, was pretty good. I don't know what happened to him, but he's a wrestler we barely knew. Lenny Lane and Kiwi. And then in TNA, they were a team. The Rainbow Express. God, I totally forgot about that team. But I liked them. I thought they could get a lot of heat. But the fans back in 2002 were probably too damn homophobic to accept them in a promotion. I don't know why TNA got rid of them. I liked them as a team. The Rainbow Express. Look them up. I don't know if you'll be able to find their matches, but look them up. He's on the Independents. He went to All Japan for a year. He's in